Hey, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome to the stream. Hope you had a fantastic week. I sure was busy. A lot of stuff happening. Winter's melting and water's getting everywhere. But I'm happy. Happy to be here with you guys. So, thank you for being here. And let's get cracking. Last week, we were working on our chessboard, of course. It's a big project, so keep working on it, right? So now we're working on the pawn. Already did the posing, and it was the usual pose, the usual software, sorry, character creator to make our pose. We can ignore this little thing. This is just the little star we had as a name folder placer. And here, to make my life a bit easier, I did the pose without the foliage and without some elements. And I thought to myself, today might be a good day to show you guys how to arrange your pose in Zbrush. In the last character, the king, I kind of did that off camera. So now I want to show you guys. And if you were curious how the king turned out, let me just pop it out real quick. And that's the platform. And there we go. So that's our king right there. If you have keen eyes, you might have seen that the head has scaled up a little bit, and the hands also. Realized when they was printing that you couldn't see pretty much the details on his face. And speaking of which, here are the minis. So here, let me just point. I'll put them right here. Yeah, right into the background. So here we have this one, which is made out of resin, Anycubic crimson clay resin. Sorry, it's in reverse, so it's kind of weird to control. So this one is around 35 millimeters of height. Just one. There we go. There we go, like so. And you can barely see the details because of my webcam, but you can see pretty much a lot of details on it. But there's still missing some details on the face. We can read the face, and the armor has some textures that are missing. But these are things that I think with the new file, this new file, it's going to be fixed, because I crease and inflate a little bit of the elements. But it's actually impressive to see all the details that you can keep on such a small miniature. Then here we have the filament print. So the filament in green, same size, but this one has a platform. And realizing this, that he's not taking quite as much as the platform that I wanted, I realized that this file over here, we scale the character a little bit. So it's actually 40 millimeters of height, but the platform is still 35 millimeters. So yeah, with this change, and also the sword, which is way too thin, you can't see it in the light right here. But yeah, so it's so thin that light passes through it. Kind of bump it up a little bit with this file right there, the file on the screen. And if you are hearing some noise in the back, sorry, that's because my printer is printing the new version. So the new version in 40 millimeter, and we are close to 20 minutes done. So probably midstream, I'll be able to remove the supports and to show you guys. And also this one was done with the tree support. So we might have a little bit of issues with the print, and you can barely see it because it's all black. Let me just show it in a different color. Let's put it in white. Here we go. And if I slice it, so the tree supports are a bit harder to remove on a filament print, but more for minis because it's used for some industrial parts. Just printed some little holders to clean my vat for the resin print. So if you're building bigger pieces, the tree supports will be easier to remove. But on minis, they tend to be a little bit destructive. So you can see all these. Let me just line up. All these green supports. They're gonna print white. They're printing black right now because I have the black filament on. But all these supports, they tend to be troublesome for minis. But I just wanted to do a quick print to see the new size if it's acceptable. So that's for our king. I already have one piece done, one little piece. And once I'm done with all the troubleshooting with the piece, it'll be available and to a soon Patreon and to a soon My Mini Factory, probably Etsy too. It'll be available everywhere, and probably a website too. So yeah. On to our main course today. We are working on the pawn. Yes, sir. So here we have our pawn with the pose. This is the generic pose. And we're probably gonna have to tweak. As you can see, the belly button is misplaced. And a couple of stuff is just looking a bit wonky right now. So we're gonna work on that, and we're gonna add some details also. Make sure that the anatomy is good. And the way I want it for this this character to be is a little bit more barbaric, so more like a berserker style of warrior. Like that. By the way, let me know if the music is too loud and if my voice is too loud. There we go. So you see this strap over here. This was a temporary loop that I had on this strap. So what I can actually do is go back over here to where it was before. And I can move it where I want it. There we go. So it's right here. We'll just scooch it where we need it. That's one way to make it, or otherwise I'll just redo it with the new strap. Stuff like that. But we'll arrange the body first. Because as you can see right now, kind of feels like he's gonna fall. I mean, he's looking a bit weird right now. Doesn't have the center of gravity posed correctly. So here, what we're gonna do, I think the left foot is good. It's the right foot who doesn't have enough support. So here, we're gonna go to Z plugging, T-mesh pose, T-pose mesh. All right. And what that does is it fuses all our subtool together and allowed us to pose the character by masking where we want to move, revert that mask, and here with the transpose tool, just deactivate the gizmo over here. With the rotate, you can do a lot, so we can just scooch that up a bit. I feel like it actually needs to go more further like that. Move that part just a bit like that, and we're just tweaking the pose right now. We're gonna make it work afterwards. So like the knee, I feel it's too tight. Remember to go on rotate, because otherwise it's doing some weird funky stuff. Here. Like that. Oh. A good way to do that would be to insert a cylinder so we can have an idea of the platform, how it's going. Alright, so now back here, mask this part. Sure, yeah, okay. Like that. Let's move that up over here. Move this one over here. Let's make it flush. You know what? Let's twist it, twist his foot a bit. Yeah. And then we can use our move tool. Just trying to flatten that out. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect, and it doesn't matter if we're changing the straps over here. Probably gonna have to redo them anyways. So, like that. I feel like this leg needs to either the leg or the hips are. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the leg needs to move forward to move a bit more center line. We're gonna do that first. Kind of want the whole thing to move like that. I feel it's hips. Not the leg, it's the hips. Yeah, so let's mask the whole thing. And I think this one it's gonna be more of a move. Move this part. Oh. No. Yeah. Just move it. I think we just have to rotate a bit upwards also. I could go to character creator and do these kinds of a change, but I kind of feel like since they're really small change, I don't think we need to move too much from one software to another. Yeah, I think we're... Oh yeah, I think we have it. Yes, sir. Yeah, so just a bit more right there, and just a bit more like that. Yeah, it kind of feels cool to have one limb, then the leg, then the other one in between, and then the other leg. Alright, so we can remove that cylinder. And T-goes. And it's gonna move everything we have visible right now. And afterwards, we're gonna bring back some details that I haven't showed you yet. What's up, Dylan? How's it going? He's back at it again, week after week. The legend, Dylan. Hope you had a fantastic week, my man. Have any plans for this weekend? Let me know. Alright, so here, just touching up a bit the pose. Portes-tu des gants? Je porte un gant. Ça aide à glisser sur ma tablette. It's a two-finger glove. An old man. There we go. So that's that. And let me show you the elements that I had over here. So here we have our little shoulder pad. Actually, let me just solo it. Hope we see each other one time. Yes, sir! I would love to. And ok, ça glisse. Yes, sir, ça glisse, ça glisse. Quand on travaille plusieurs heures sur l'écran, les mains deviennent moites. Fait qu'il faut que ça glisse. Alright, so here we have the shoulder guard. Similar to the one for the king, but a bit more simple in the base, because it's a pawn piece, so a little bit less extravagant for the pawn piece. Then we have the tunic. Yep, tunic right here. Just show it to you guys. There we go. So that's a tunic that's going to be around the waist. So we're going to place it. We're going to place it right now, actually. And these little eyelashes always in the way, so we're going to hide them. And instead of doing that, I'm gonna select these and go transpose set. That way it just selects the one in the folder. And here we're gonna scooch it to the waist. Like so. And we're probably gonna have to redo some elements over here. Need to scooch a bit more in front. Pendant de travail sur l'écran, ça te donne pas mal aux yeux des fois. Moi, ça me fatigue après des grosses journées. Avouez que non. Ça fait longtemps que je travaille avec l'écran, les écrans non-stop. Non, non, non. Pense pas. Pense pas. Ça peut. Au début, oui, mais maintenant, plus maintenant. Il existe aussi des lunettes que ça permet de faire filtrer la lumière bleue, ce qui fait que ça te fatigue moins les yeux. Mais moi, bizarrement, ça me fatiguait plus les yeux quand j'ai porté. I guess. I guess j'ai des jeans pour regarder des écrans. I don't know. There we go. So, just gonna adjust the tunic. T'es en live jusqu'à quelle heure? Aujourd'hui, on va s'arrêter à 2 heures. Généralement, je fais des streams de 2 heures, fait que ça va être la même chose aujourd'hui. 3 heures, ça commence à être long. C'est un peu dur de tout le temps trouver quelque chose à dire en même temps. Hein? Ouais, des gènes, Dylan. Pas pas des jeans, jeans. Jeans. G-E-N-E-S. The tunic is split in 3 parts. You have the tunic itself, or the cloth. Could be a cloth. I call it tunic just so it's easier for me, similar to the king. C'est pour ça que je suis là, mon homme. Pour checker des gras ou pour des jeans. Like that. Here, we have a little element over here. I'm not sure what it is. Let's check it out. Is it this one? No, it's a tunic. Pour animer. Oh, that's it. Dylan, l'animateur du chat. Let's go. Ah, it's the pants. It's the pants. Vas-y, je vais essayer de repasser avant la fin. Alright. Merci d'être venu, man. There you go. So, here we have the fur. Second element of the tunic. Thank you, my man. Thank you, my man. Just put myself a little bit more comfortable on my chair and let's go. You see, these elements were done on a T-pose and we're probably going to have to adjust them. Keep it up, my little friend. Thank you. I'm not that little. But thank you. There we go. So as you can see, when you're tweaking your pose, you have to consider the flow of the movement. If there's rigid elements, keep them rigid, but you see the fur here and this part of the tunic kind of needs to drop a bit. Poilus. Also, we have to remember that the tunic wasn't touching the ground when he was standing up normally. So it shouldn't be touching the ground because he's squatting. And it's also, he has his legs spread out, so have that tension should be actually keeping the tunic up. There you go. So fur needs quite a little bit of help over here. We're probably gonna have to erase a couple of fur hairs and put them more on top of the pants. And you have that little rope. And this little ball over here will be a knot that we're gonna carve in. All right. Looking good so far, looking good. All right, now here for the body, we kind of need to work the anatomy over here. So usually when you spread your arms like that, your chest is getting more wider and more stretched out. So we're gonna do that. And since this character has very light armor, actually close to no armor, we're probably gonna add some details of anatomy instead of wearables, wear damage of armor. See here, I'm touching his head. I don't want to do that. And his neck is a bit wonky, so we're gonna have to tweak that also. For now, we're just gonna smooth it. Kind of scooch it right here. When you turn your head like that, you have that stretch over here. So we're probably gonna do the same on this side. And again, this is just the first step. Like that, just to make the pose more plausible and more realistic. Even though it's a fictional character and a stylized character, the motion should read as if it was a real character. Oh, our print is done. Just gonna let it cool down and I'll go grab it up. So here, and can actually grab this arm over here. Increase the selection, mask it, and bring the rest of the body. And from here we can kind of do a little transpose without the transpose tool. Or just want to bring tricep out of it a little bit. Since we have the fingernails, I think we're going to bring it back to transpose tool. And here we're going to grab the move topological so it doesn't affect the arms. I think we're going to have to mask them. Like so. Yeah. He's gonna be a little more broad than our king. He's the front line of the chessboard. They're also berserkers, so they're kind of ready for war, and no matter what, they'll fight. There you go. So if we go back to our high resolution, yeah, probably gonna tweak over here, make it more fluid than this little pinch. Like that. Let's pop in the foliage so we can have a better image. Oh yeah, looks pretty badass. Let's bring our boots back. Let's hide that little star that's in the way. All right. Let's just move our shoulder pad into position also. So right here. I'm gonna select this one. Yes, sir. Move it onto the shoulder pad. Like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Let's just move it just a bit upward because the strap is in the way. And probably we're just gonna move the strap underneath. Still feel like it needs to go higher. Yep, yes sir. Like that. And also the braces that I didn't show you guys. So the braces over here. Well, these elements, the fur will probably be redone. So I think we're gonna delete them real soon. And yeah, that's all the elements for him. So that's the main armor for this guy. We're maybe gonna add some little bit of details like ropes or stuff like that, but that's the gist of it for this guy. So let me show you the print. Let's see if it came out well. Oof. Ah boy. We had a bit of damage done on it, unfortunately. Yep. Well, in terms of details, they're quite amazing. But I think one support didn't follow up, and it kind of messed the whole thing on one part of the build. As you can see over here. Oh, sorry, right, it's now this is the opposite, so it's black. So you can see right here, it's like kind of all fuzzed up. Unfortunately, it's his left hand. Let's see. Let's remove the elements. Gonna worry about that afterwards. So in terms of support damage, if they're when they're holding, they're not as bad. Probably gonna need some clippers. Sorry, fortunately I can't show you. Let me show you. Yeah, I really like this size instead of the 35 height. You can see way more detail, and the fact that we can see them on a filament build, I'm pretty confident that we're gonna see even more details on the resin print. What we can do here is snip all the bottom parts. Yeah, we can even see this face detail on the filament print. That's pretty cool. And the sword is a lot bigger and a lot stiffer. So there we go. Try to put in. So the sword is a lot stiffer. And when we look at the 35mm, kind of feel like it can break, and this one over here, really solid. So really happy about this size. Just a bummer that we lost an arm. I think if we put some different settings on the Sclicer, yeah, we can save some details. Unfortunately, I can't really show you. If I had a camera on top of my head, that would be perfect. But I'm yet to have those. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share so we can grow the channel and I can do more for you guys. Spurts are going quite well. All right. I think I'm only missing just a few. I think unfortunately there is some that are gonna stay, and I'm not gonna waste your time looking for you to look at me looking downwards on something you can't even see. It's like the support were all surrounding the sword, so I feel it wiggle. There we go. Yes. That's a chunk. That's good. That's good. No supports. No supports. A little bit of spaghetti action over here. Yeah, I feel like that's a support that didn't want to come out, but you can see, yeah. So left hand is gone, but the rest of it looks quite cool. And unfortunately, it's should have printed in white so you can see. But I really love this size. We're gonna go on forward just so you can compare. Let me put them, actually, maybe this one and this one, yeah. So this one is a lot bigger, not a lot bigger, but that 5mm makes the whole difference, and it's gonna be awesome in this size. All right, so let me just clean that up real quick. Yeah. Now, I won't reprint it again because it won't finish in time for the stream. And this was pretty much just a test for the size. Yeah. Just grab this little snippet and we're gonna get back to our main schedule with our pawn. Here we go. Yes, quite cool. Quite a nice size. Let me just put my hand. Let me see if I. Let me just put in my phone. Maybe a light like that, if I light it from underneath. Maybe not. Maybe from in front. No, unfortunately you can't see it. Yeah, it's a bummer. Well, maybe if I go into the screen. What if I... Aha! Yeah! So you can see it over here. This size way better than the 35 that I had. Look at the 35. Now, in terms of brightness, you're probably seeing this one, but just the size feels way better with this one. All right, let's go back to Zbrush. All right. Already I'm digging the pose. And here, if I'm not mistaken, I wrote myself some notes for this one. I think it was... I wanted... For the pawn, I wanted 2 axes, right? Yeah, 2 axes. So he's gonna hold 2 axes. And we can probably get a little view. It's not gonna be the same axis, but... I can't import one axe that I already did once. Export. It's gonna be here, weapons, and I would need a hand axe. Alright, so this little handy axe, we can try to see if it fits our character for just a moment. We're gonna remake our own axe for this character. Reason why is this axe was for somebody, so kind of don't want to reuse the same product for another project. Here we go. That looks good. Actually gonna scale it up. Yeah, that's better. Think even further. Yeah, that's cool. And we can duplicate it. Actually, no, let's just clone it inside. By control and shift, control and drag. Right here. We're gonna place this one just a little bit more tilted, a little outside. And the hands will be also modified because I feel like character creator makes a good general pose, but when it comes to holding stuff, I feel like it needs some help. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, looks cool, looks cool. All right. Yeah, it's gonna look insane. Imagine this this little guy in this size. And you have 8 of them, right? Yeah, 8 of them on a chessboard. And that's just a pawn. So, I mean, with the combination of all the characters together, actually, you know what? We can actually do a screenshot over here. And we can grab our king. See? I just love the contrast between both. Yeah, it kind of feels like you can see the difference through the contrast between both styles. But you can also feel the battle passion between both of them. Yeah, that's cool. You know what? When it comes to a render, I'll put them all side by side, and it's gonna be insane. All right, enough yapping. Let's do this thing. So, I think a good rule of thumb would be just to remove everything except the foliage. Here, because we're gonna work on the body mainly. So eyes, mouth, tongue, teeth. The teeth, we're gonna keep them as it is. I don't think we're gonna see enough details on them. Fingernails gonna be important. Underwear, yeah, underwear. And the pants, yeah, the pants, we're gonna work on them also. This part over here. And something that I realized while doing the king is the pants, we're gonna actually close the whole thing. We're gonna merge the whole thing, that way it doesn't have issues. You're not gonna see it, but on this one over here, right here, you can feel a little bump, and that's because the mesh of the underwear and the mesh on the pants and the mesh of the legs are like one on top of all of them. So when it comes to print, it kind of wanted to do all three, but it kind of messed the print in that part. So we're gonna just merge the whole thing together, and the easiest way to do that is here. We're just gonna smooth this part over here, the little folds. And I think we're probably gonna do these little stitches again. Like that. So here, just removing these elements. We're gonna take our history, go to our lower subdivision. Oh, it has layers. Let's remove those layers. We don't need them anymore. Whoops. Remove the layers. I think I wanted, yes, that, and actually just gonna keep the yellow part, delete hidden, close hole, divide a couple of times, and here we're gonna project our details on that. And that way we keep our folds, but the whole thing is solid. Actually move this, and the underwear we're probably gonna get rid of them because we don't need them. Pants, there we go. And you can see this little fold. We're probably gonna smooth it out. Wait, that's not what I want to do. Bring back our subdivision. And that's how it is, right? Every time you have to pose a character, you can either start already pose and can actually save you some time if you already know what you want to do. But in my case, I like to do the elements in A pose first. That way I can kind of know all the elements I want to do first, and then afterwards pose it. Because I tend to have a gist of an idea of what I want to do, but not all the details. So I like to keep my mind open for some accidental mistakes that kind of leads me to a path. So now the pants are ready for some details. But let's work on the body first. Let me put in my trusty glove. I'm gonna need my pen. I'm gonna remove the history over here. So here, just gonna smooth things out. And we're probably gonna go one back forward, and we're gonna add some mass over here. Now we're probably going to go over 4 subdivision levels, because we want that level of details and level of resolution where I can be free and do all sort of details on it. So here the form attached to the upper arm. Can have a better definition for the biceps right here. I'm gonna move fast, but if you're doing a project like that, I recommend taking your time. But this is just for entertaining purposes that I'm going fast. Probably gonna go over and adjust some forms. Like here, he's holding the axe, and the way he's holding it is a bit more relaxed. So the biceps shouldn't be so intense, but since it's a stylized character, we can kind of exaggerate the whole pose. That's why I'm just going over and just adding a little bit of mass. You just want to feel like this guy is ripped up, so because he's probably going to be the only character without an armor on. You can see here that you have that weird thing happening with the hand. That's character creator like rotating on the weird axis. So we need to add some mass on the hand. Probably gonna enhance the knuckles. Yeah. Probably can grab our move tool. Just slightly bring that hand little bit like a construction hand. I don't know if you ever saw like or had a handshake with a guy from construction. They have these massive hands. That's because they use their tools so often that I think like their hands has like more forces in them. Or like imagine you having to lift your hammer every time, or your nail gun, and these things are quite heavy when you're doing an 8-hour shift, and they do like 10 and 12-hour shifts. So imagine holding this kind of weight every time. Your hand becomes massive, and it's the kind of hand I kind of want for this character. He's used to holding that axe, and also brawling with the rest of the village, the rest of the warriors. See how the hand is massive and the forearm is small. So I think we can actually exaggerate this part. And regardless of this part over here, it's going to be hidden with the brace, but just to have a proper structure so we can understand better. That thumb is awful, so let's try to fix it. We'll go back over here. I'm gonna take this and increase. Okay, so here, gonna go back to our highest resolution. We're gonna mask this part, making sure it's only that part. And from here, let's rotate that. Okay, so this part of the thumb is better, but the end is awful. Same over here. Go back. Grab this part, go back to over here, bring back the whole thing, and we're gonna mask it. Alright, this part over here, we're just gonna smooth it a bit and mask it. One thing that I hate is every time you have something else on the screen, like the foot, you're just trying to understand that you want to be, well, you want to go there, but it's not the case. I just want to turn the camera. And that thumb is getting worse and worse, but it doesn't matter. It's just it's getting there. rotate. Okay. Now without considering this part for the fingernail, we're probably gonna have to remake that fingernail hole. Right. Here we're gonna carve this part instead. We're gonna shape it the way we want it now. Because from here, we're not gonna send it back to character creator anymore. So it doesn't matter if we, actually at this part, it doesn't even matter if we dynamesh, or you can even bring in a new hand if you want. Because from here, this pose is locked in, and we're gonna keep it that way. Always check for reference, and your hand is the closest one. And you can see this hand is massive. This thumb is brutal. Let me see where our fingernail is. Fingernails. All right. This one over here. I want only this one. So something like that, and on the thumb, we're gonna start bringing the elements around the fingernail. Obviously, if your character is wearing gloves, don't bother doing this step. But since this one, he's gonna be with his hand naked hand. All right, slowly getting there. And we're gonna remove the pants. And our fingernails, we can pop them back on, all of them. Have a better view. Like I said, you can bring in another hand, you already did. But for the stream purposes, I'm trying to show you how you can solve an issue. So when you're holding, you have that big gap, you have that big mass over here, and this little part over here. Carve in, have that bump, and this part over here, you have that bump over here. And what we can actually do is work on this hand, duplicate it, and put it on the other hand. It's not cheating, you're just saving time. Now, if you want to practice your handwork, you can do the same on your other hand. But in my case, I kind of want to go over quickly on this part. All right. So I feel like the thumb is good. It's the rest that's awful now. So we're gonna work on that. So here, probably gonna grab this part over here. All right. Here. And remove a bit. Sorry if I'm not talking too much. Kind of focus on solving this issue right here. Just gonna add a little bit of thickness because the thumb is getting super huge now and the rest of the fingers are small. If you just joined up, we're working on our chessboard that we've been working a couple of weeks now. And right now we're doing the pawn piece. The pawn being a berserker warrior, crazy, ready for battle, ready to serve his country and his king. All right. So let's see how it looks like. Just looking at the hand right now. And the fact that it is a print and it's not going to move can actually we can actually make the sculpture touch each other. Like so. Because it doesn't really matter afterwards if what the character is already posed. It's not gonna move again. Here we go. That. Probably give some mass over here. The hand is getting huge and huge. But we're probably gonna scale the whole thing a bit downwards afterwards. Probably increase the. Let's see what the brace is on. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm just gonna mask. I'm gonna do that, and okay, it's selecting both of them. Transpose tool. Yep. Here, I want this. Let's make it easier. I want this part. Control Shift A. It kind of didn't work. I want this. Control Shift A. There we go. Revert the mask. And we're gonna scale it up. Like so. All right. Move our move tool. Move brush, not our move tool, because the tool is something else. Here we go. So now it fits, and let's pop it back out. All right. Yeah. So with the brace on, we can't really see the forearm being too small, so that's cool. Yeah, and the fur, we're probably gonna redo it afterwards, so that's good. Let's see with our temporary axe on. Yeah, so this arm looks way better now. This one needs some work. So what we can do actually is, I think we could Dynamesh. Yeah, we're gonna Dynamesh. So this body over here, we're gonna duplicate it just in case. And first thing we're gonna do is delete our resolution. And what I'm gonna do is actually grab from the bicep downwards. And I'm gonna split hidden. No, actually. Yeah. Gonna do that again. So I'm gonna delete the lower, duplicate this one. Now I'm gonna select from the bicep downwards. Delete hidden. Mesh has layers. Why does it have layers? Alright. Delete that. Good. And from here, we're gonna go from this one. Just gonna hide these elements. Alright, I have my good arm. I'm gonna mirror. Gonna isolate and just align it just so I can have a better control on the alignment. Like that. I think it's a bit off right here. And now I'm gonna bring it just a bit like that. And we want to match the elbow, because I don't believe we touched the elbow. I'm probably gonna have to move a bit. Like that. Now we're gonna select this one over here. This one is our backup. And we're gonna remove this part. Oh. Scooch that part over here. Now I want to kind of align the hand where the axe was. Or I could just leave it like that. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. And from here, we're gonna merge both of them together. So this one has partially hidden. Gonna remove the layers. All right, so now we can merge, right? Yes, sir. Here we're just gonna scooch it a bit further. Let's see if we can dynamesh the whole thing. Yeah, so resolution is good. I'm just gonna scooch these parts a bit further so they touch each other. And we're gonna resculpt a bit the muscles. Here we go. I want to make sure we're not losing details. Too much, at least. So maybe 16. Yeah, that should be good. Here we're gonna smooth. And here we go. So now we can redefine the muscle. And it's actually going to be easier to redefine our muscle with all that resolution now. What we can do afterwards is zero mesh the whole thing if we need to go back and add some details. Thank you, Soma. How you doing? There you go. There you go. Oh, this forearm over here is getting a bit excessive because it's actually supposed to be part of the tricep. What we're gonna do is hide this part so I can work more on the tricep. Alright, so adding this part over here for the forearm, and I think we're going to be ready to zero mesh the whole thing, just so we can go from one subdivision to another. And it's also easier to control afterwards. Yep. So now we have a bigger hand and better arm looking. So here we're gonna duplicate this one again just for a backup, and we actually lost our subgroup, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem. So here for the head, it doesn't matter because we have backups. So let's see what happens if we go, whoops. Yep. We'll go 50. Here we have to close the holes. And Zbrush. ZBrush. Doing good, thanks. What about you? Doing great. Had quite a busy week, but doing good. Happy to do some 3D finally this week. And I don't know if you were here when we got it, but we have a little print over here. Oh, sorry. Little print of our king that we did last week. Oh, it's in black, unfortunately. Oh, yeah. I was flashing it with a... So you can see over here our little king. So we bumped up the scale a little bit just to allow us more details on the print. It kind of looks really cool, really cool. Have way more details in the beard, in the rams, in the fur even, and that's filament print. Nice, thanks. So here Here we have this one, the Dynamesh, and here we have this one, which is the Zbrush. We're gonna subdivide again. And we're gonna project all. No, you don't want the polybind. There you go. So now we have our most of our details back. Just need a bit more. Now it's at these moments that I want a better computer. Because goddamn, sometimes it takes forever. Alright, let's smooth these parts, and we're gonna rework them anyways. I kind of projected the inside of the mouth. There we go. So let's hide this. Here we go. So over here, we're gonna bring back our braces because we need to do the other one now. So this one over here. And we're gonna go to transpose tool. Yes, sir. I'm gonna need all of this. Control Shift A. Right, Control Shift A, and we're gonna mask this and bring it back. Here we go. So that's that. Just gonna scale it up just a bit, and with our move tool, can just shrink it because it doesn't matter. It's leather and silk, so it can form the shape of the forearm. All right, like that, and T-pose. All right, so now might be a good time to see with everything on. I know we have the fingernails over here going all around the place. We're gonna move them one by one. Boom, boom, boom. Shoulder guards. There you go. Looks pretty cool, eh? Looks pretty cool. So here what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna hide everything and keep just the body over here. Right, this is our high poly, this is our current one. And I'm gonna mask the whole thing. And I'm gonna project all over here. Because I feel like we're missing details on the face. is it because... Yeah, we could go one level higher for the subdivision. But for now, we're good. Alright. Just gonna get rid of these eyelashes. We don't need them anymore. Kinda annoying me. I mean, look at this thing. Huh? Huh? Oh, yeah. Looks pretty cool. Looks like a psychopath. Ready for war. Just realized we don't have our eyebrows on. Yes, sir. All right. So for the last 30 minutes, let's put some details on the body again. But a bit more muscular. So we're gonna add some subdivision. We have 2 million now. And we're gonna redefine our muscle so that this guy looks like a war machine. So here we're gonna bring back our reference. These reference that I took from my course from Abelil 3D, really cool. You guys should look at him. And here, we'll probably take some reference from here for the chest. But I think we're gonna go a bit more. I kind of want some stridation like that. Yeah, so we're gonna go with something like that. So I'm gonna keep that on my other screen so you guys can see. On this screen. So a bit like training, you have the upper chest. Have the mid chest and the lower chest. Well, if you're not sure of what you're doing, it's not a great tip of just carving in your work. You just carve, draw on it with Dam Standard, and then afterwards you can go back and just adding the volume. So you see, kind of works like a pen and an eraser. So adding the volume will erase your lines, but at least you sketched them before. So here you can kind of go asymmetrical with the chest. I'm not going to go overboard with the stridation, because remember that the size is so small we're not going to see them. But we just want to understand that this guy is ripped the hell out of him. So here it's a bit exaggerated, the stridation, so we're going to smooth that out. And we're going to add just a bit in between so it doesn't look too exaggerated. There. Just so you can feel the difference between one muscle to another. Here on the clavicle part, we're gonna increase the clavicle right here, thickness over here, and for the shoulder, if you want, we can put him some pants if you're... Yeah, actually I have everything activated, so it's kind of cool. You can see the difference here with this pectoral. You gotta see some more definition of the muscle right here. Like that. And on top we're actually the upper part of the pectoral kind of sits on top of it like that. And they're going all to the shoulder. All right. Now in terms of the bicep, I'm gonna bring the attachment over here. And I kind of like going with this line texture. Just going real fast with my pen. Kind of gives that that small texture, that small sketch texture. And that's why I don't smooth too much, because I kind of like this this texture as if I was I was drawing and sculpting at the same time. All right. So here we're gonna do the opposite over here. We're gonna carve over here. Now usually if one goes that way, the other one goes that way, but just in between, so it kind of create that zigzag over here. Like so. And the reason why I want these striations is, first, yeah, he's gonna get ripped, but he's also having his chest puffed out with both arms extended. So when you have your chest like that, you can feel you can even feel your pectoral stretch when you're doing that. So I want people to feel the pose. So here we're just gonna grab the move tool, scooch this part. Yeah. From here, let's add some mass on the upper part. And like I said, we're probably not going to see all this work on a 35mm, but maybe on the 75. And who knows, maybe I'll bump up the scale and try to print it 1/4 of the scale. Alright, so here we're just gonna move that a bit. Here we go. So here we want to fill that little bump right here. Yep. Looks good. Looks good. Oops. There we go. We're gonna smooth it and go in between just so we can erase the exaggeration a little bit. Actually gonna increase this part over here. And we're gonna bring that texture that I kind of like. I'm going real fast. All right. Just gonna do this kind of line over here that I had, and the one on top. So we can feel the stretch happening. And now for the clavicle. Gonna dig a little hole, and that shoulder is gonna be more defined. Also, the shoulder is stretching. Since he's like that, this front deltoid is stretching like right around here, so like that. So for the neck, kind of want that trapezius to be stretched out. Yeah, that's good, that's good. Since when you turn over here, you kind of feel it a little bit loose, and this one's more tight, so we're gonna do the same over here. But we still need to feel that muscle over here, so we're gonna add the mass just in the back. Not too much. For the neck, it's gotta get in tighter. When you turn on this side, you're gonna feel the one strain over here. So you add that little mass, like so. That goes right underneath the ear. And here we're gonna cave in right here. Now we don't matter too much underneath because we have that beard covering it, but still just so we can feel the muscles, because right now all of that is hidden, but still want to feel the pose. And just look right now with all the elements. Feel like this looking amazing right now. So here, since he's beefed up, we can actually bring the abdominal portion on. Just gonna increase the lats first. Give some more lat thickness. And you see, that's why I kind of wanted to have all the same body shared with this this project, because it's interesting to see that one body can change depending on the character, and we modify it the way we wanted. So the king with all the layers, we didn't need too much definition on the muscle, so we're saving time and work on doing just the armor and without spending too much time on the body. In this case, we're spending way more time on the body because it's going to be more exposed. So it gives us the opportunity to practice our anatomy and to create a beast of a warrior. And that's just a pawn. Imagine the knight. The knight actually is going to be more of a I think it's gonna have the most impressive armor on it, because I kind of want the king to be a king armored and the knight to be the knight serving his kingdom, so it is the most decorative character. So here we're just gonna create these muscles over here. How does it look? Looks pretty cool. And here we're not gonna go super ripped for the abdominal, but I still want some base of abs. Might be a good time to save actually. Alright, so that's right here. Let's see with the context. So here we can kind of do our little trick with the separation. Right here. Guess who's back? What up, Dylan? There you go. So we're adding some details on the pawn right here. We want it to be a ripped mother. Yeah. So it's gonna be one hell of a warrior. I feel like that we can kind of feel the essence of the body type that he is. How's that look? Go like that. Just want to remove a bit so we can understand that he's kind of getting to his abs. Actually look like these strong kind of Vikings with all those muscles. Yes, sir. A bit the style that I was looking for the pawn. Berserker / Viking. There you go. Put in the strap right here. These ones are the front of the chessboard, so these are the ones that are like no mercy. They're going in front of the battle. They're really ready to kill when you look at the knight, it's more of a tactical piece. So we're gonna make the armor a bit more noble. But this guy just want to fight. Yes, sir. Well, that looks cool, if you ask me. I think we can go a bit exaggerated with the abdominal. Let's see how it goes. Nah, Phil. Maybe a stupid question, but did you visualize where to place all the muscle details? So the good thing is I have these references of all body parts. And this is from a course that I took from this YouTuber, Lil 3D. So he generated this pure ref. So always work with reference. And this is on my another screen. So just so I can look at it and compare. And this is why I realized that the abdominal is not working. It's just the characters here are all beefed up and they have zero body fat. This one over here, he does have some body fat, but just not on the pectoral side. So yeah, could be about I could be your model pretty similar. Really? You a bodybuilder? You a UFC fighter? So I just want to go to the abdomen again. So I feel like, oops, there we go. I feel like we could do something like that. Just, yeah, yes, sir. I think we have it. I'm a Quebecois, that's all you need. That's it. A proud Quebecois. There we go. I think with that should be enough to just understand that this guy is ripped. I create a little belly button and just move it like that. There you go. So I think with that should be good for the abdomen part. I'm just gonna define these muscles over here. So Dylan, I see you come here all week. Are you planning on doing some creative stuff soon? I'd like to see that. It's actually so impressive to think about the whole process behind that huge creation. No offense. I mean, that's actually so impressive to think about the whole process behind that huge creation. No offense. I don't think there's an offense. But yeah, you have to think about a lot of stuff when it comes to character creations. And when it comes to a project like that, it's not like the easiest project to do. It is quite simple project. It's a chessboard, right? But having the idea of going above and beyond for this project to make it dwarves, dwarf characters, dwarf miniatures. That's where I like to go, right? And you have to think, okay, well, if we're going with a chessboard, what are the pieces, right? So what are we gonna do for each pieces? Because yes, all the characters are gonna be dwarf, but they have to be different, and you have to understand how one is the rook, how one is the knight, how one is the pawn. Sure, you'll do a big project in the future. I believe in you. Why are you saying no offense? There's no offense in what you're saying. Thanks. Well, I hope this project will get some attention and I don't know, make the channel grow, so I can do their enemies, the elves or the goblins or the dragons. There we go. That feels quite nice. All right. So I think that's gonna be it for today, folks. I'm just gonna save it. Look at that. Just gonna move this abdomen just a bit further. Oh, whoops. Yes, sir. Feel like we would need to work a bit on the abs a bit, but I mean, the gist is pretty cool. What do you guys think? Yeah, pretty happy on how it came out. And I feel like it's going to be an awesome piece to print. Answer your question, which was very thoughtful of you. I don't think I'll create them myself, but I appreciate seeing you too. Oh. Stop with the no offense. Oh boy. Alright, well, that's gonna be it for today, folks. I'm gonna see you next week. Hope you had a fantastic time with the stream. Please like, comment, and share so it grows the channel and I can make more content for you guys. Wish you a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye!